Thanks, Dr. Steve, for that inside look at that high ankle sprain. It seems like that's an injury that a lot of guys have trouble with and getting back to the football field. So thank you for that. Now time with my special guest this week. It's Richard Collier joining us here on Tom McManus Uncensored. Richard, great to have you here, my friend.
Glad to be here, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I told you in an email first, and I told you in person just how much I'm inspired by your story and everything that you represent and that you've gone through, that you're going through, and that you look forward to in the future as well. So thank you once again.
I appreciate it, man. I'm just so surprised how many people have told me that. I was in Valdosta this weekend, and the school president came up to me and told me the exact same thing. I just try to keep it positive and just let people know that, I'm still pushing forward.
Take us back to when, after the incident, and you wake up in the hospital room and you realize the magnitude of the situation. Talk about your emotions at that time. I'm sure it must have been unexplainable, really, for anybody that's never been through that.
It was, and I remember talking with my sister, and I was like, I really feel like getting up. I've been laying down, I'm pretty sure, for a few weeks now. Still didn't really know where I was, but, I was like, won't you help me get up, and walk around and just, I feel numb, basically, from laying down. I thought I was just numb from laying down so long.
Yeah.
And she was like, we have to tell you something, and she told me, you're paralyzed, and they had to cut your leg, and had to amputate your leg, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? It's like a dream, and I kicked them out of the room because I was like, what's going on? And I talked with my nurse. I told them to bring the nurse in. I talked with the nurse, like, tell me everything that's wrong with me, and she went down a laundry list of things, and I was like, oh man. So I had to realize quick that, football, I was like, forget football for right now. I can't walk. And it was tough, man. It was tough. I brought my mom back in and my sister back in, and they consoled me, and we cried. And, even that night, believe it or not, I told myself, man, you gotta focus back in. You gotta get over this thing, or it'll kill you, Yeah. And it was important for me to just, focus on the fact that you're still alive. You took 14 bullet wounds, man. And it's like, you could be gone easily. So I'd much rather be alive like this than, to be dead.
I know you're a man of faith, and that's a big part of your life and your core and all that. And you know that you're here for a reason, right? I mean, you believe that. You told me that earlier, and I know you believe that. I definitely do, man. And I've already seen the Lord open up doors for me. Just being on this show. Somebody will see this, and hopefully it'll change their life. And I just, I take every day, I take it positive. And, I meet a lot of people, just going out to different places. And everybody's telling me, you're such an inspiration, and I've been praying for you. And I know a lot of prayers, all the prayers help me out, man. And I just, I really, if my faith wasn't as strong, it's very strong now. Because, I know that I'm here because of, my faith and all the prayers. Take us back to your story of making it to the NFL, because it's a great story. I told you mine off the air about being a bartender and getting a chance and getting lucky a little bit. And you were obviously a big guy your whole life, very athletic your whole life. You told me you weighed 390 pounds at one time. You could still dunk a basketball. You didn't do very well in school, but you and your buddy went to the local junior college, and then it snowballed from there. Tell your story a little bit of how you made it to the big show. Working at Walmart, man, and, hearing all the jokes, how big I was and everything. One day, one of my friends that I played with in high school, he was playing with a small college in Texas. And he was like, it's a junior college in the same city I'm playing in. And if you want to play football again, you ought to go and, talk to the coaches and all. So I went down to Texas, me and him, one weekend. And he was just, I got the registration stuff. I'm like, I'm tired of working at Walmart, basically. So I was going to go to school anyway. Football was a bonus. And, man, right. I worked hard. I worked my butt off. I remember the first day of workouts, we ran sprints. And I was literally, like, laying on the field after workouts. I was so tired, so out of shape. But I worked myself back into shape. After about 3 weeks to a month, I was starting. So I played there for two seasons, right. And I transferred over to Valdosta State, and
here I am, man.
Yeah, and then the Jags gave you a chance.
The Jags they called me an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
You know how the odds are for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I happen to be one of 3 who made the team from undrafted. And, you know, it was just a blessing, man. It just show you, you know, with your faith. Because, you know, my faith wasn't as strong. My goal wasn't to go to the NFL. You know, I just wanted to go back to school and at least give myself a shot to play football.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I got better and stronger and my faith got stronger, I'm like, I can do this. You know, I really can do this. And it was amazing, man, the whole story. And, I just thank God for it all.
You know, the one thing that really stood out to me, Richard, after your incident, after you got out of the hospital, you were in rehab, and I saw you working out on these air curl machines, and you were getting after it. And I sat there, and I'm like, that speaks volumes for the young man of all that you went through, and being able to display that kind of strength and courage. Tell me now, what's the future for you? What do you want to do, Richard, in your life as you move forward?
I feel like the sky's the limit. You know, I don't feel like I have any limitations. I plan on doing a lot of speaking engagements. I love talking to children. You know, as you know, I helped raise 3 of my nephews that live with me, and I love being around kids, and that's something I plan on doing. You know, teaching them about, you know, the do's and the don'ts, and just, you know, making the right decisions in life.
Good for you, man. Well, you're an inspiration, my friend, and I'm honored to have you on this show and in front of me and talking about what you went through and what you're doing now, because life is all about overcoming and persevering and believing, and you're the epitome of all those words. Thanks for coming on. All right, we'll be back with more on McManus Uncensored.